What's going on, guys? It's Pubg. Welcome back to the PUBG mobile channel for some more amazing PUBG action. We are going to be taking a look at some loot today and the best spots to get some in Erangel. We're going to take a look at the map right now, and the three spots that we're going to be specially highlighting today are the South Georgia Pole crates, the Milta Power control room, and Novo I don't know. We'll call it Novo. Anyways, we've got Erangel right below us, and check that out. The crates are in front of us. Let's take a look at the overall map, and we'll zoom in specifically on Georgia Pole. This is the area that you're looking at. The red buildings there are your hotspots. Those are going to be where you're going to find the most cover as well to be able to hide in. Those are not necessarily the best loot. The yellow is basically if you're going to land and loot up. Those are all fine and dandy to go ahead and loot from. Just kind of look around as you're falling to make sure that you don't have a whole ton of company. If the skies look clear, feel free to land anywhere inside of South George, and you'll be able to take a whole ton of loot on board. Now, one of the problems that you have in South George on the crates is when you land on top of the crates, there's a great chance that you're going to land right on top of a good gun. But what if you don't? You have to run and jump very quickly, grab one of these things. I'm lucky enough to find a Car 98 here, and I know where those guys landed because I found them on the way in looking around with the eyeball tool. I choose to engage here, unfortunately missing a couple shots because I don't have a reticle. I gotta keep looting, keep looking around, and I do get shot here. I find the red dot, and I'm able to put a shot on one of my first enemies here, get him to hide. Now, my goal here was to engage, force him out of the top of the crates because I wanted to control the top. Now, it's important that you be comfortable with your own abilities here, and only take the top if this is something that you're comfortable shooting at enemies across the map from. If this isn't something that's comfortable for you, just jump down. There's plenty of loot on the ground as well in all kinds of open crates. So before I pop out here, I want to make sure the coast is clear. I see a guy, peek out, and we pop him with the M16 to finish him off. That was the guy that we hit with the Car 98, and unfortunately, he had not found a health kit yet. So we continue to loot around. A couple things to take note of is over on the far side of South George, so basically where the houses and the apartments are, to the west of this location, you can hear I'm getting shot at right now. Where is it coming from? Who even knows? Let's zoom in over there. Oh yeah, that's right, we only have a red dot, but it's pretty much impossible to see this guy anyways. We'll zoom in for you and point him out. There he is on the cliffs. Very, very difficult to see. I couldn't see him while we were playing, so I chose to just drop down. This is something that is very, very nice about South George, is anytime you're under fire, just jump off the crates. You've got plenty of cover. You can heal up. Now, off to the east, there's an open field. A lot of times you're going to see guys running around out there, and you know, pretty much fair game if they're running across that open field. You take the Car 98 to them, and that's that. Continue to loot up. Here are the three warehouses circled in red at the bottom of South George. We're going to go into these, and this is kind of where I highlighted on the way in that, yeah, that's some good loot right there. I'm wearing a level 3 helmet, and there's two more level 3 helmets stacked on top of each other on the ground. I don't know what that's all about, but hey, we'll take it. And then out the back side of these warehouses is typically where you'll find a lot of vehicles. So we'll zoom in on one, and hey, this guy's going to bring another one over for us. Hey, Ian, thanks for the car, buddy. We'll go ahead and take him out, and we'll run out and grab that car. As soon as you guys decide you've got enough loot to get on out of Dodge, run out, grab a vehicle. We'll put some on the map for you here. These are the vehicle spawns in South George. Make sure you guys check those locations. They're not always there, but more often than not, you're going to find a vehicle, no problem. You can hop in one and get on out of Dodge. So, once you hop in, let's go ahead and take a look at the overall loot ratings for South Georgia Pole. The size of the loot area is huge. It's great. Plenty of loot to be had in South George. The zone friendliness is pretty good as well. You don't have to run super far to be in that first zone. Risk of engagement, pretty low. The ability to hide is fantastic. And, you know, ability to get transport is great. So let's go ahead and take a look at some headshots that you can get after you loot up in South George. Head on around the map, pop some heads all over the place. All right, that's enough of that. Let's go ahead and pop into the next area that we're going to take a look at, and this is going to be Novo. That's right, Novo Repnoye is one of my favorite spots on the map. It is down on the southern island next to the military base. It is separated quite a ways from it, and it is a popular second choice as most people choose to go melee. Now, Novo Repnoye, you want to pay attention to inside that red outline there on the crates as you kind of fall down. That is where most of the loot is going to be and where most of the action is. Now, Novo Novo is on the southern island and away from most of the safe zones, so you want to take note of all of the vehicle locations, specifically the garages that are in the Novo area. Once you're falling down, make sure you look around as always, take note of who's coming, and again, if it's not super crazy, obviously jump on top of those crates, see if you can find a weapon early, and if you are able to establish yourself, you will have a great chance of securing the zone. Now, we find an S12K here, which doesn't really help us fire across the map, and we do have two other enemies right near us on top of the crates, so I decided to grab what we can. It's a Tommy gun, submachine gun with not great range here, so I hop down and I decide I'm going to push them. Now, I don't see the first guy right off the bat. I do jump and see the second guy standing on the crate still, so I'm going to try to get lucky and take him out across the map, and we get some shots off here, and unfortunately, it's not enough. He jumps down, and that's exactly what you should do. Now, he's smart. He returns fire. He only shows me his head, and he gets some great shots off there as he did find the AR first. Now, what did he do? See this ramp right here? This is exactly what he did. You run halfway up these access ramps. You peek your head. This is a great way to check anywhere in Novo on top of the crates. Now, I have low health and no health kit yet, so I hide. And this is a great way to evade enemies in the Novorotnoye area. You want to run into crates and just use your ears. Hear those footsteps? When they're clear, you can kind of clear out and go about your looting once again. And we had quite the battle, me and this guy. Finally, I get a grenade off on him, and I do charge him once I heal up to 75, and we do take him out. Now, what does he have on him? Ooh, are you kidding me? 2 8-time scopes? Are you serious? We've got the Car 98, we've got the M416, literally one of the best loadouts in the game, and that's off our first enemy here, and he looted that off of his side of the crates, so thanks again, buddy. Now, check out below, you can go through all of these crates, continue to loot up and down, look all the way around, make sure you check early the safe zone location, and again, if you need to jet, you gotta make sure you hop in a boat and head to the northern island, or find a car. Just beware of that bridge, as it is a choke point, and a lot of people are camping it. So continue to clear out the area. You will come across people here and there looting. They can kind of be sneaky, but yeah, clear them out, loot them up, and then make sure you guys hit the top of the crates in all of the other areas as well. Look at the loot that's up here. 5.56 ammo all around, M416, M416. They're all over the place, baby. Again, make sure you guys keep your eye out for things that look peculiar as well. You see that car up there on the ridge? Well, that's not one of the spawns. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at that with one of those 8-time scopes. Oh, he shot at me. What do you know? Well, Lalo Diaz, you done, son. Well, that's what you get when you kind of peek in on those people looking at the crates. You just kind of keep your head on the swivel here and continue to loot up. But all that being said, it's a great spot to get loot. Let's go ahead and take a look at our haul here after we've cruised through Novo. Oh my goodness. Multiple 4-time scopes and 8 times Car 98 M416 fully kitted. Are you kidding me? Overall loot rating here at Novo, the size of the loot area is immense. It's absolutely massive. You'll find everything you need here, and you will never have to leave, with the exception of the safe zone. It is not a very friendly area. You will have to leave early if the zone's north, and especially if it's northwest. Risk of engagement, fairly good here. You're not going to run into a whole lot of people, as most people going to the southern island choose to go military base unless the zone is very near the plane. Ability to hide and escape is great, as you saw, and the access to transport is pretty good. Lots of boats here, but, you know, not a bad area at all. One of my favorites on the map. Let's go ahead, take a look at our final zone, the Milta Power Plant. The Milta Power Plant is known as one of the best places in PUBG Mobile to get loot. You can see it there on the east coast of Erangel. The Milta Control Room is what we are looking for specifically. That is going to be your red highlighted building at the power plant there. It is green when you're looking at it coming from the sky, and you will see it in just a moment. The yellow highlighted buildings are warehouses, and those are like secondary things that you want to take a look at. And then you're going to want to look at the factory as you head out of Milta Power once it's completely looted. There's your vehicle locations. They're just basically going to be along the road, so keep an eye out for those. There is your green control room coming in from the sky over Milta Power Plant. That is what you want to land on. Shoot for the roof here, and want to make sure that you land kind of in one of the corners so you get a weapon quickly, because as you can see, it is competitive to get to this particular building. There's a few guys behind me, and I didn't even know it, but look at this. A guy right on top of me. He misses the roof. I land on the AKM anyways, and he is directly below me. Now, I do hear him run into the building, so I'm going to immediately go down there before he has a chance to loot up. I'm already holding an assault rifle. There he is trying to loot, and he is done. Taken out very swiftly, and we know the other two guys were behind us, so they are likely off to our south. So we look, there's one right there in a parachute. Almost get him. A few hit markers there on him as he's falling out of the sky. Unfortunately, not able to get him. But that's one thing that you can do pretty easily here at the Milton Control Room is from the roof, shooting people out of parachutes that are slow to get down. Now, as I have the high ground here and I can easily back up from the ledge, it's a great spot to pick and pop people as they're kind of exposed out in the yard. Again, loot up as quickly as possible. You still don't want to let them loot up and get position on you, but as you can see, I'm just doing loads of damage and basically keeping them at bay, making sure that they're very weak and forced to heal. So now I go to loot, and what do you know? Right off the bat, we already have ourselves a level 3 helmet. Continue to loot the roof, and then head down the stairs. On this level, there's a bunch of control rooms, and you're going to be able to loot these no problem, push all the way through to the other side, and then you're going to be able to make it down to the first level as well. Great loot in this building. This is probably the single best building in the game for loot. It is completely packed full. That being said, though, outside of this building, not as great, but you're going to see so many people coming here that this building in particular is fairly competitive. There's the footsteps. We hear X-Scarlet come in, and she's going to bring us some loot from over on that other side there. Brings us the 4x scope as well as the Car 98. We're able to loot up once again, and here we are early on. Still more than 90 people alive. We have 2 kills, and we are loaded out with loot. Level 3 helmet, level 2 vest, full AR, and we've got the Car 98 as well, and we pick up an AR silencer. So, wow, or a suppressor rather. Wow, just crazy loot here. And again, we hear somebody running outside. That was the second guy over there. So we're going to chase him down, put some bullets in his back, and that is that. We'll loot him up. And now that we're outside, the control room is looted. Pay attention to these warehouses like we talked about, those that were highlighted in yellow. Loot these up, and as we're looting around, we get that pan. What else can we find out here that's beneficial? Oh, how about an 8x scope to go on our Car 98? No big deal at all. So we'll throw that on there, the 4x on the AK, and then we'll head on out. And as you head out, take a look at the road. That's where you're going to see those cars. Remember the vehicle locations for those spawns just on the roads. Make sure you kind of pay attention to those, and then head on over to the factory. Once you're at the factory, pull on up, hop out, and then you will have a load of loot. Once again, the factory is another single building with an amazing amount of loot in it. This is really evident here as we pick up the M416 and we switch out the AK for a far superior rifle. Continuing to loot up, make sure you check all the little nook and crannies here on top of the crate outside. Check this out. We jump down, boom. Level 3 military vest. Gotta love it. We are level 3'd out of our minds now. We've got the level 3 vest, level 3 helmet. Continuing to loot up, we'll grab everything, and things are looking up. We're gonna go ahead, get out of the factory now, head to the zone, and it is a little bit away off to the west, so we're gonna grab the car right outside on the road as we spoke about, and that's it. We're gonna ride into the sunset, baby. Go get us a chicken dinner. But wait! There's a guy on the road. Let's hop out and pop him in the head first, and then we'll talk about the loot here at Milton Power Plant. There it is, Cristobalina. You are, well, retired. We'll see you next game. That being said, guys, how was Milton Power? Pretty dang good. The size of the loot area, or rather the quality, is phenomenal. Absolute best in the game as far as number of great loot items in the same area. Now, this is going to be a little bit hostile as, you know, there's going to be a lot of people competing for that same stuff. Not a lot of people, but there will be competition. The zone friendliness is okay. It's far coast, so you will have to go inland every once in a while, but at least you don't have to cross any bridges usually. Risk of engagement, not that great. You will have to fight for the loot here, as I said. The ability to hide and escape, also not that great. It's pretty open, a lot of long lines of sight. People with rifles will be able to take you down fairly easily. Access to transport, also not that great, as those cars do not seem to spawn in all of the time. That being said, guys, these are 3 of my favorite loot locations in the game. This has been Power Bang. I'm going to be bringing you guys content twice a week here on the PUBG Mobile channel, so make sure if you guys are looking for more PUBG Mobile action, come to my channel, Power Bang Gaming. Link in the description below. Subscribe there, and you guys will be getting daily PUBG content as well. That's all I got, though, for this episode, guys. Subscribe here at the PUBG Mobile channel for more amazing action. This is Power Bang, signing out till next time, guys. Take care.